Hi everyone, welcome to another empty hand session. I'll do my usual camera adjustment. Really hard to do that before we go live. There you go, that's better. All right, so welcome to the session. I hope we're going to have a great one again. I'm going to work on front kick today. Now I'm going to hopefully do a whole series of these little sessions where I focus on a single technique. Let me quickly explain the reasoning behind it. I just think that if we're not learning face to face, you and I, so it's very difficult for me to get feedback as I give you feedback on what you're doing. So if we're a little more intense on a subject and we really stick to it for a bit longer and give it a bit more focus, then perhaps that will help you to really understand the technique better. Yeah, that's my theory anyway. And I'm always open to feedback, so you can always leave comments and contact me info at Brain Dojo. So, yeah, good. All right, let's get started. Anyway. Feet together, hands both sides. Good. All right, we'll just start with the usual warm up. So go around with your side in close. So I hope you've had a good week or a good few days since you last did a session. Hope you're feeling the benefits. Sometimes life gives you little bonuses and little challenges as well sometimes. But I had a nice little bonus just before I started the class. I'm going to go forwards and back. I was just setting the computer up, the camera and everything, just ready to go live. I was speaking to one of my senior instructors, the person who's next rank to me at the academy, Master Wood. And he said, "Oh, you're still doing your live classes?" So I said, "Yeah." We said, "How's it going?" I said, "Yeah, okay, not bad at all." He said, "How much engagement are you getting?" So I told him. And he said, "Oh, good." He said, "To be honest with you, though, it doesn't really matter how many people you get, because if you just change one person's life, make one person more active, one person a little more happy, one person a little bit less stressed, a little bit less paranoid, a little bit less self-conscious, then it's all worthwhile, isn't it?" And I thought, man, yeah, what a brilliant reminder. That's exactly how I feel. But how nice to have somebody just come up to me and say that just before or just as I'm preparing for a lesson. Yeah, the universe is brilliant sometimes, and it just helps you so fantastically well. And what they say, look for positives and find them everywhere. It's a good old Master Wood. Really appreciate that. Good. Right, shoulder punch again. Let's take one arm forward. Right up by your ears. Good. Back. Change sides. And back. One forward and one back. Change. Cross your body. Good, right, so I'm going to pop one leg forward, I'm going to do knee splits, and all the way up to my shoulder. Two, three, Short again. Shake it out a bit. Good. Legs wide. Push on the weight. Stretch your here. Side. Okay, nice and hold my belly forward again through straight leg swings this time. Remember, I'll begin quite low and gradually get higher on the 10. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, now front kick. Let's kick on to work on today. So we'll do two versions of it. We'll do a back leg kick and a step up kick. So we'll just show you the two. So we do this, kick with this leg, yeah, and also stepping up this way, kick with the front leg. Yeah, good. Right, so let's break it down. I'm just going to quick slurp of drink. Okay. So pop one leg in the front. Nice stable stance. Bend those knees. Use all your knee movement to absorb your shocks and changes, pressures, and all the different things that are happening in your physiology. Yeah, so we use that knee bend to absorb it all and make it like a suspension system. All right, so front kick with your back leg. Now, when I do front kick, I know that I turn into much more of a forward stance. So I tend to strengthen my back leg a little more than I would do normally, and bend my front leg a little more. So I'll stand this way and show you. So this is how I would be normally in a fighting stance. But if I was preparing to do a front kick, or I knew a front kick was something I was going to throw next, I might change my stance more to point forward. I'm going to come through with this back leg, and I want it to not have to come around to my front leg. Yeah, all right, so I would advise you to have a bit more of that position, a bit more commitment to forward movement. Keep your hands up, and I'm going to bring this back leg through. You're going to lift our knee nice and high. And even if we're not going to kick high, get your knee high because it's good practice. It's good. Yeah, it's good practice. It's a good thing to get into, get that good high knee lift. Yeah, so I'll show you from the side. So I'm going to come through here, pick that knee up nice and high. Yeah, and get a nice tight chamber on the leg. So don't have it like this. You know, bend your knee and really lift it high. So bend it tightly, lift it up this way. Yep, good. Right, now we're going to extend it forward, and as soon as it's extended, we're going to have full extension and then bend. Now, what I don't want you to do is kick your leg out so aggressively that it goes against the joint. You go as far as your joint will allow. You don't let your elbow flop out as hard as it will go all the time. That's not good for your joints. So control it just before it gets to the full extension and pull it back. And this is one of the skillful things about martial arts techniques. It's learning to not let the technique bash against the joint all the time. To just control it before it gets to the full extension, but not cut the technique short. Alright, so come on, let's do a few and then we'll talk a bit more about it. Okay, ready? 1, so lift up, push forward, and back. 2, push forward, back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, switch legs. We're just getting the basic action of the kick here, right? We're not worrying too much about detail yet. We'll go into a bit more of that in a moment. So hands up, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, switch legs. I'll actually relax for a second. So, I don't want to give you too many things to think about in one go, but let's take the next step and say, right, instead of just bringing your leg through and extending it out, I want you to think about striking with the ball of the foot. Yeah, so the part of your foot at the bottom of your toes. Now, we need you to push that part of your foot forward, but not push your toes forward. I think this is a bit difficult to achieve until you get used to it. So we need our foot to go forward, but not our toes. And so we strike with the hard part of the foot, where we let our toes come back. So here. Yeah? Right, so let's do another 5. I'll do them sideways like this so that you can see the position of my foot. Because when I do them directly towards the camera, I'm not sure you can see that very well. Okay, are we ready then? Close that back here. 1, push forward. Good. All the other things, all the other components of the kicks are still important. You just got to think about pushing up. 2, so push that foot forward. 3, 4, 5. Good, switch legs. Go the other way. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, right, now I can use the back here to show you how you would strike. So as I said, you try with this part of the foot, the ball of the foot, and you need to point your foot forward. Right, so we're here, it goes this way, back, against, strike there. You can see the toes pulled back out of the way, striking with the ball of the foot. So, yeah, and I think there are 2 ways to do a front kick, really. You can do it as a proper driving front kick, drive it and then forward. Right, and then you sort of absorb your momentum by going forward. Or you can do it as a punching type kick where it does and back, so it punches and bam. And both are good. You know, you just need the right, understand the right situation to use either kick. Good. All right. So I'll use the back as a target with my right leg, and then I'll do the other one just in the air when I face the other way. All right. So just thinking about this again, keeping those hands up, pushing that foot forward. Ready with me? 1, 2. So if you have a bag, great. If you don't, if you're imagining it, imagine just making contact with that bag there. 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch legs. You go the other way. In the air. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now, if you're careful, see, the thing is, this is one of these things that I can't really give you feedback on because I don't know how you're coping with this. But if you're coping with it okay, and you have reasonable control of your limbs, then you can practice just going up to a wall with the ball of your foot. Obviously not kicking it hard because you damage yourself off the wall or the door. Right, but you can then feel if you're making contact with the correct part, yeah? But you have to be really careful with it. Good, all right, so have you got that? Is that something you understand? We're pushing our foot forward, but letting our toes come back so we strike with the ball of the foot. But if I was doing this with my fingers aren't as flexible, but I'd be pretending to pull them back and hit with this row underneath the digits on my foot. Yeah, but my fingers don't do that. I'll be striking there. Good. All right. So the next thing I want to think about is pushing your hips into the kick. So if I don't push my hips into the kick, if I hold them back this way, as the kick goes, it's an okay kick. It's a flicky kick. I can see it flick and back. And there are times when I would do the front kick just like that. I was close to somebody, it's a casual kick, whatever. There are times when I would do the kick without using my hips. However, I much prefer to drive in. So I push my hips into the squat. And you can see the difference when you really push those hips into the kick. This way. That gives me more reach, more power, and just uses all the components that I have at my disposal to make the kick stronger. So here, push. Yeah? Alright, so let's give that a try. I'll start like this, yeah? Are we ready? Hands up. One, so push those hips. Good. You've got lots to remember, haven't you? You've got the technique of the kick, the thrust action of the hips, the forward pointing of the foot, pulling your toes back. Lots to think about. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch legs. I'll keep the bag this time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So you can see how those things are starting to come together. We've got the leg action, we have the lift and the extension of the knee joint. We've got the foot pushing forward to give it that extra impact that comes from striking with a small area, the ball of the foot. We've got the thrust of the hips. Yeah, now you must think about recovery afterwards. So how are you going to recover from that kick? The last thing you want to do is do the kick and then drag your foot down. So you don't want to go kick and then drag down your opponent or even drag down a back. Yeah, so you need to have a nice recoil. So from here, kick, pull back. Yeah, so you've got to pull that back. Kick, pull back. I understand it's just another component you've got to think about. Yeah, so a simple kick, probably the first kick that we teach a new student, there are lots of things about that kick that you could work on to make it better. Right, so although it seems like an easy and probably the most practical kick, the most useful kick, there are loads of ways to make it better. Right, so we're doing a knee lift, leg extension. We're extending our foot forward to strike with the ball of the foot. We're pushing with our hips to get some thrusting action, and we're pulling back with a nice recoil afterwards. Okay, ready? So here. Good. 4, 5. Good, let's get the other way, now back this time. Ready? 1, so push and recoil. 2, push and recoil. 3, push and recoil. 4, push and recoil. 5, push and recoil. Good, right, so another quick slurp drink. Okay, now, all the components so far, kicking, extending your foot, sorry, the leg action, extending your foot, driving your hips, snapping off, all important. But I want you to think consciously about where you place your foot. So I'll do this facing the camera. Now, I come through, do my kick, bend, land, and where do I land? This is, to me, this is a bad landing. I've landed with my legs almost crossed over. You probably can't see, let's move this a little bit. All right, might be able to see my head now. All right, so from here, if I kick and land like this, I'm not balanced. If my opponent is where you are, where the camera is, this is not a good, nice balanced position for me. And the problem is, if you don't consciously think about how you're going to land, then it will be all over the place because you're not consciously thinking about it. You're not saying, I must land at a good stance. Right, so put some focus on where you land. Right, so let's do a few. So we come through, extend, push down, and land. Right, you see that's a nice balanced position. I'm ready to continue. Have nice action, I can carry on. Yeah, and then back, we go again. Right, so we do 5 on each side. I want you to think about how you land. Ready? 1. So kicking forward, land. Yeah, nice landing back. 2. Kick forward, land. 3. Kick forward, land. And back. 4. And back. Good. Right, switch legs. Ready then? 1. So kick forward, land, and back. 2. Kick forward, land, and back. 3. Kick forward, land, and back. 4. Kick forward, land, and back. 5. And back. Good. So I'll do some facing this way. I'm a big fan of always bending your knee as much as you can after a kick. For 2 reasons. 1, I think it makes the kick more punchy, and 2, it gives you much more ability to control your land. Yeah, so let me go this way this time. Here we go. 1, so kick forward, control my landing, down, and back. And I can pause with the leg up if I wanted to. Come on. 2, kick forward. Yeah, no, I probably don't want to stand around on one leg for too long. It's not great for living on one leg, but at least it shows to me, and if you're in a class, it can show to your instructor that you have control of your balance and that you position your leg, you place your leg where you would prefer it to be, which is always good. 3, so forward, 4, forward. And 5. Forward. And back. Change legs. Here we go. Ready? 1. Kick forward. Down. And back. 2. Kick forward. Down. And back. 3. Kick forward. Down. And back. 4. Kick forward. And 5. Okay, now, I don't want you to practice pausing before you land so often that it becomes a real habit. Every kick that you do, you pose or you pause with one leg in the air after you've kicked. That's not a good strategy for fighting. Getting your foot down quickly is a much better strategy. But being able to pause with your leg bent after you've done the kick shows that you have good balance. Right, so it's one of those things it's useful to know you can do, but I wouldn't want to get in the habit of doing it all the time. Make sense? Right, so I'll just do 5 more kicks with each leg, and this will show you, I'm using it to show you how I would practice the kick as a default practice. You know, I might well break it down and do the components of the kick like we've done today. But if I was just practicing my kicks, you know, through all of my kicks, then I was front kick would be one of those kicks, and this is how I would do it in that scenario. Right, so from here we go. 1, so kick, bend, land, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other one, swap legs, go the other one. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Come on. Show. That's good. So, there are some strange things about kicks, probably worth just mentioning here. I'm a left-sided person. My left hand, I'm left-handed, my right, my left leg is more precise. But I am really odd, because if you gave me a tennis ball and said, throw this ball accurately into a hoop, I would use my left hand. And if you said, throw this ball as far as you can, I would use my right hand. I know that's a bit weird. It's the same with my legs. If you said to me, do a really precise kick carefully, I'd choose my left leg. And if you said, kick a bag as hard as you could, I'd use my right leg. I know, it's just a bit of a quirky thing with me. I don't really understand why. But my point is this. Sometimes you will prefer to kick with your dominant leg, your dominant side, and sometimes you'll prefer to stand on your dominant side because that gives you more support, more reliable support. And so when you're learning kicks, you will probably find you actually kick with your dominant leg better on some kicks, and you kick with your non-dominant leg better on other kicks. And it's probably due to the fact that standing on your dominant leg is a really helpful thing for that kick. Now that's the only logic that I can think of really that makes it work. Because I have some kicks I prefer to be on the left side, some on the right side. But the real trick, practicing balls so much on either leg that you don't really notice the difference. Yeah, well that's the dream. Good. Well, I hope you enjoyed the session. I know I didn't get around to step up front kick. We'll cover that in another session. And no point in trying to cram too much in. Let's make sure we get all the information. Good. Well, I hope you've liked doing a session like this. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope you've got lots from it. See you next time. Get a hand to it. Thanks, guys.